Metal Gear is one of my favorite video game franchises. I love the style, the characters, the stories, the gadgets, the out there moments, and of course, the Metal Gears. The giant walking mechs capable of launching a nuclear missile from any terrain, and it's your job to destroy them. Since the franchise is sadly just about done, we won't be getting any more Metal Gears. Looking at the boss battles, there are a total of 13 Metal Gears. So let's go over the worst to the best. True, they may not be full-fledged characters, but there is character to them. I'll be ranking them by design, boss battles, story relevance, and impact on characters. I'm not counting the geckos since they're more like standard enemies than boss battles. And the Metal Gear Mark II or III won't be included either. Sorry little guys. And finally, there will be spoilers. And this is all my opinion. Now let's dive in and see the top 13 Metal Gears. Number 13. Metal Gear 2 from Snake's Revenge. After defeating Cyborg Big Boss, Metal Gear is about to launch a few nukes, and Snake hurries to Metal Gear 2 in an anticlimactic fight where you fire remote-controlled missiles through a tunnel with zero resistance. Yeah, it doesn't fight back, it just stands there taking it. The only threat is the timer. I like the design, it does look like a slight upgrade from TX55, but Metal Gear 2 is too little. Number 12. TX55 Metal Gear from Metal Gear. Okay, look, I know it's low on the list, but the battle is so underwhelming. TX55 doesn't shoot at you, or even move since it has no pilot. The two lasers next to it do all the fighting. The strategy to take it down with plastic explosives in a specific pattern is unique, but the battle could have been more intense. Come on, it's an 8-bit game. Where's the insurmountable challenge? The design is charming, and reminds me of old Studio Ghibli movies. Still, TX55 is a small spark to a bigger fire. Number 11. Metal Gear Kodo from Metal Gear Acid. I'm gonna say it up front. The Metal Gear Acid games are weird. Just look at Kodo. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh monster! As crazy as it is, I like how colorful it looks for a non-canon Metal Gear. The battle itself is interesting. You control both Snake on the outside and ally Teleco on the inside. Kodo is so big, you can fight it from the inside. Haven't seen that before. The downside of this battle is that it drags on. This fight can go on for a half hour and the card gameplay can take some getting used to. Kodo may look wild and cool, but I prefer Slifer the Sky Dragon. Number 10. Metal Gear Kyotha Kadesh from Metal Gear Acid 2. Where Kodo gave me Yu-Gi-Oh vibes, CHQ screams Digimon. And it is the most vibrant looking Metal Gear. The fight has Snake working with a partner again, and similar to Kodo, it can take a while, but what helps make CHQ special is the cutscene where Snake uses its railgun to launch himself from the base to the ocean. Damn. The Acid games may be absurd, but they've got some crazy Metal Gears, and CHQ is the better of the two. Number 9. Metal Gear Gander from Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel. Gander is another overlooked Metal Gear that deserves more love. Its design is based on Yoji Shinkawa's concept art for Metal Gear Rex. Good to see this made it into a final product. The first phase of the battle has the mech chasing you, a first in the series. After disabling its legs with explosives, you get to the real meat of the fight, taking it apart piece by piece, then cap it off by feeding it grenades. Although the Game Boy Color is noticeably small-scaled, Gander was executed so well. The best of the non-canon Metal Gears. Just take a gander at it. Number 8. Metal Gear Raja from Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. Chronologically, this is the first Metal Gear ever constructed. Designed by Sokolov from Metal Gear Solid 3, it's clunky, quadrupedal, a bit tenuous, and nowhere near close to Grandin's vision for the titular weapon. So it makes sense for this to be weaker than future Metal Gears. More on that later. Sure, it's not the most powerful Metal Gear, but the story behind it does give it a boost. In an unexpected plot twist, Naked Snake's psychic ally, Elisa, reveals that the antagonistic Ursula is not her twin sister, but the darker side of her psyche. Ursula boards Raja and uses her psychic powers to energize it, trying to kill Snake. A precursor to an upcoming boss battle down the road, which also has a character voiced by Tara Strong. The battle has you destroying its legs to keep it stationary, and then blasting its thick arms. Raja is the introductory stage of the evolution of Metal Gears. Gotta crawl before you can walk.
You'll never beat me.
Number 7. Peace Walker from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. True, it doesn't have the Metal Gear moniker, but it follows the same beats. It can walk and fire a nuclear missile. What's intriguing about Peace Walker is its AI, and the AI is modeled after Naked Snake's mentor, the boss. This provokes Snake to have an obsession with it. The villains Hot Coldman and Zadornov set Peace Walker to launch a nuke through misleading information. Now it's up to Snake to destroy it, before it's too late. Peace Walker is interesting when it comes to the Frankenstein angle, and the battle is gripping as you can see the timer going down before it fires the nuke. But there's one problem. Like the rest of the unmanned AIs, the battle takes ages. The health bar hardly seems to deplete, and thanks to the episodic structure of the story, you can only carry a limited number of weapons for each mission. So if you're out, too bad, go back to the menu. And yes, it is outrageously absurd for a mech from the 70s to be this state of the art, but looking at the best of it, Peace Walker stands out. Number 6. Metal Gear Sahelanthropus from Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. The last Metal Gear made for the franchise, and the scariest. In your first encounter, you're hiding from it like it's a giant Michael Myers. It was also meant to have child soldiers piloting it. I mean, that's sick. In the second encounter, a young Psycho Mantis and a preteen Liquid Snake mentally control Sahelanthropus to unleash hell on everything in its path. It kills the main baddie Skullface in the process, and has Venom Snake running for his life, narrowly getting out of there. The boss fight is a blast. You have a lot of options in how to fight Sahelanthropus, and it throws everything at you. It even tries to fire its railgun at one of your helicopters. After the battle, it's brought to your base like a trophy. Neat. So what do I not like about it? Two things. One, the design. Look at its launch mode. It's Rex. Not just inspired by it, it's a straight up copy. Its ability to transform helps make it original, but I can still see Rex's head. And the second problem, it's way too advanced for its time. TX-55 was made in 1995. This game is set in 1984. And thanks to Psycho Mantis, Sahelanthropus can fly and wield a sword that can summon colossal spikes from the earth. Ursula made Raja hover around. If Psycho Mantis is this powerful, then why didn't he crush Solid Snake like a bug in Shadow Moses? Sahelanthropus may be a rehash with stupidly OP capabilities, but I have to give it credit for the exhilaration that comes with it. Number 5. Metal Gear Excelsis from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. The final Metal Gear in the timeline, and definitely the largest. The only downside to this Metal Gear is that it didn't have any proper build-up in the story. Usually, Metal Gear is the sole reason why the hero intrudes the enemy base. Excelsis just shows up since, well, it is tradition. Lack of anticipation aside, it does have some relevance to the plot. Excelsis was used to frame the mercenary group Desperado in Pakistan in a staged assassination attempt against the president, prompting Raiden to encounter the main antagonist, Senator Stephen Armstrong, who pilots the mech. The battle with Excelsis is through the roof. You sever a few of its legs off one at a time. Then you lift the whole thing and yank one of its legs off to slice it into shreds. Dude! If that's not crazy enough, in the following battle, Armstrong, with his
nanomachine son,
hurls pieces of Excelsis at you. How many bad guys in this franchise do that? Excelsis is the most ludicrous Metal Gear ever, and it's no question that it belongs in the top 5. Number 4. Metal Gear Zeke from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. After collecting enough data and parts from unmanned AI, MSF, with the help of Huey Emmerich and Strangelove, build their own Metal Gear. Yeah, you own a Metal Gear to customize and send in war zones. You honestly get pretty attached to it quickly. Oh, but it doesn't end there. The well-mannered Paz, in her underwear, reveals to be a double agent working for Cypher, and she hijacks Zeke to kill Big Boss. Now you have to defeat the Metal Gear that you made. Unlike the AI battles, the fight with Zeke is faster paced and doesn't overstay its welcome. It's blood pumping from start to finish. Zeke is a clever addition to have as a weapon and a satisfying epilogue battle. And it really is too bad you have to destroy it in the end. Peace out, Zeke. Number 3. Metal Gear D from Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. The first Metal Gear that delivers the whole package. It doesn't just stand there, it tries to kill you. To be precise, its pilot does. And who's the pilot? Gray Fox. Yeah, the guy you were sent to rescue in Metal Gear 1 is Big Boss's right-hand man. And turns out, Gray Fox isn't as friendly as we thought at first. We don't even know half the trauma he's faced. Gray Fox uses D to kill his former lover Gustava. After she and Snake had a heartfelt moment together, we grew to like her, and it really hurts to see her die. This made D more of a threat, and we can only see its legs at first, building it up as a fearsome beast. The battle has Gray Fox using D's arsenal to stamp you out, and you avoid it while fighting back with grenades. Not that complicated, but there's so much emotion backing it up. After destroying D, Snake is thrown into two of the most critical moments in his life, crippling Gray Fox in self-defense and torching Big Boss, knowing that he is his biological father. All the turmoil he's faced leads him into living in solitude in Alaska for 6 years. Metal Gear D is an underappreciated mech, and one of the most dramatic in my book. Number 2. Metal Gear Ray from Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. Oh, where do I begin? Ray's design makes it look more agile and aquatic, appropriate for that name, and we all know how much the early 6th generation loved water. Ray was made by the US military for the sole purpose of destroying other Metal Gears. Ray is the reason why Snake went to the tanker early in the story, to take pictures of it as proof. It's not every day when you're required to take pics of a Metal Gear. Then Ocelot steals Ray as Liquid Psyche begins to control him. 2 years later, Raiden sneaks into Big Shell where he finds Ray there, and then multiple Rays in Arsenal gear. There's a whole army of these here, and Raiden has to fight 3 at a time controlled via AI. The battle does disappoint in Ray's credibility since one Metal Gear is enough to be intimidating, but Metal Gear Solid 4 makes up for that when Liquid Ocelot arrives piloting a single Ray, and it's one of the best boss fights in the game. But Ray isn't done yet. It's the tutorial boss in Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, where you have the time of your life fighting it, and my jaw drops to the floor every time you throw it to the sky and use your sword to cleave its arm off. And guess what? It's not finished with you. You wrap it up by hopping from missile to missile and cutting it in half. Even Jetstream Sam fights one in his DLC story. With a total of 5 battles and 3 protagonists fighting it, Ray is the most used Metal Gear to date, and my personal favorite. Number 1. Metal Gear Rex from Metal Gear Solid. You all saw it coming, but it'd be criminal not to put it at the number 1 spot. Rex's design works as the next logical step for D, but with a fitting dinosaur theme, giving it a fresh look while paying homage to the first 2 models. Rex is also the most important Metal Gear. It's because of Rex, Solid Snake was brought out of retirement to infiltrate Shadow Moses, where he goes through key moments in his life. Rex has a ton of build-up, starting when Snake meets Decoy Octopus disguised as the DARPA chief. We even see it standing dormant in the hangar. The clock's ticking until Liquid Snake uses it to launch a nuke. The battle is Snake against Liquid piloting Rex. It may have been simple, but it was engaging. You blind Liquid with chaff grenades and fire missiles into the radome, which is a weak spot that Otacon deliberately left as a character flaw. Otacon, you brilliant bastard, you! The cyborg ninja Gray Fox gives his life to help Snake destroy Rex before being crushed by it. The second battle is more personal. After defeating Rex, Snake and Liquid have one final mano-a-mano on top of the mech, and it feels so good to knock Liquid off of Rex. Rex won't return until Metal Gear Solid 4, prompting old Snake to return to Shadow Moses 9 years later. There's a conversation on Codec where Otacon nostalgically talks about him and his team designing Rex. In the old hangar, Rex lies inactive where a swarm of Suicide Gecko and Vamp show up. You destroy the Gecko while Cyborg Ninja Raiden defeats Vamp on top of Rex. Before the abandoned base explodes, you, for the first time ever, are controlling a Metal Gear. And it's amazing! It is immensely satisfying, to be honest. In Rex's final battle, you use it to trash Liquid Ocelot's Ray, blasting it with machine guns, missiles, and the laser. Something I find really interesting about this battle is that it pits both Snake and Rex against 2 rivals that were made to be superior. Ray was programmed to be a Rex killer, and Liquid had the dominant genes while Snake had the recessive ones. But despite the odds, Snake and Rex kick their asses. Rex is memorable not just because of its design or arsenal, but how it's used to further character arcs and deliver on pivotal moments in the franchise. That's why I'm ranking it as the best Metal Gear. Rex is king. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to comment what your favorite Metal Gear is. See you next time.